Follow us on Twitter at ghettoplex_mp4, on Instagram at ghettoplex.mp4, and on YouTube at Ghettoplex. Goodrich, the movie where Michael Keaton becomes the world's best dad after being the world's not worst dad, but not good dad. I did like the movie, but I would not recommend it. There are just things about this film that make me hate being from California. And it's so weird because California, it's like there's a stereotypical part of California where it's like you get a bunch of stupid liberals and stuff. And then there's everywhere else. You know, you like LA and San Francisco really are just like the worst parts of California where you get those stereotypical type of people. But the rest of California is not that. I mean, you definitely get some sections outside of LA and SF that have that annoying liberal bend to them. But for the most part, there's a lot of normal people in California. And in the Goodrich film, it does like feature a lot of these annoying elements of California type. I guess it's like more LA, like the LA type of people. And it's just so bizarre to watch it. It's because like, you know, I've lived here my whole life. And so I've watched California slowly become this annoying place. Well, California is beautiful, but it's filled with annoying people. So I've watched California change the culture. I've watched the culture change into these just people I can't stand. And in the film, most of the people are these type of people that I hate being in LA. I hate being around people like this. But the story, I would say, it's got a good arc. I enjoyed the arc that Michael Keaton's character goes through. Basically, he is this guy, his last name is Goodrich. I forget what they call him. I forget what his first name is. Anyways, Goodrich owns an art gallery, and it's kind of the center of his life. But he has all these other things outside of the gallery that should be more important to him, like his family. He's got 3 kids, a daughter who's in her 30s, and 2 younger kids, a set of twins, and they're barely going to be 10. So he's grappling with this relationship and these different relationships he has with his kids, because Mila Kunis, who is the 30-something year old daughter, she's grown up. She's kind of already about to have a family of her own, but she still is heavily involved in Goodrich's life. So she kind of, it's funny because both of his daughters, so his 9-year-old daughter and his 36-year-old daughter, are both kind of assistants to him in his life. So he's not really good at taking care of them. Not that he doesn't take care of them. Obviously, he's like a provider for them. But when it comes to support for him, like his stability, like if he just needs help with minor things that, you know, they seem minor, but they're kind of really big when you think about it. When you think about like your family stepping aside of their own personal responsibilities to help you with yours. So it might be like small things, you know, he asks his daughter, the Mila Kunis character, for help with things in his life. You know, there's small tasks like, you know, he asks if she can babysit the other 2 kids, or he asks for things like that, family things, family favors. And, you know, because he's so obsessed with his work, he's kind of overlooking the small sacrifices that they make for him. But in the film, obviously, what happens is that his wife, she leaves to rehab, breaks up with him. Everyone around him suspects that this was going to happen anyways, because they're all, you know, looking outside in and seeing the type of guy he is. Not that he's a bad guy, it's just that he's so caught up. He's like married to his job. So no one else really takes any kind of priority. But when his wife leaves him, he kind of has to become a dad for real now. He's basically a father of 3, but becoming a parent for the first time. But overall, the journey he goes through, you know, when he starts off as this father who's too busy for his kids and becomes the father that his children wanted. You know, it's a nice story arc to see. There's definitely some heartwarming moments in the film that did make me even think about my own relationship with my father, who I have one of the best pops in the world. I think my pops is like a very polar opposite of the Goodrich character. I am thankful for everything my pops has done. So this movie did definitely make me think about my family and how grateful I am for them. But yeah, so some of the things, so the annoying things in this film, that I guess they were kind of poking fun at some of these things. So it's not like they were really, it's not like when you hear DEI in films, like inclusion and all that, that does happen in this film, but it's kind of making fun of the stereotypical LA, California person you're probably used to hearing and seeing memes of on Twitter or on Instagram. You know, just like the stereotypical liberal, sensitive, idiot type of people. It's when I say making fun of them, I don't mean that it's in such an obvious way. It's not like a skit. It's just that these characters that they have in the film, like there's this gay dad who's has this, you know how like there's gay people just buying children. So they have like this guy who bought a kid with another gay guy, but the other gay guy left. So he's like a single gay dad. And then you have this feminist artist singer whose mother passed away, and they're trying to find a gallery to exhibit her mother's work. So Goodrich wants to pick her up as a client and goes to this feminist jazz club and this feminist yoga club to try to grow a business relationship with this annoying feminist. And it's funny because when he's actually in these situations, like when he's at the feminist jazz club and he's at the feminist yoga breathing exercise club, whatever that is, it's so funny because it's so ridiculous, but it's accurate. When you see it, you're like, God, this is so annoying. How could you sit in a room full of these people? But out here, well, not in San Bernardino, but in LA, that kind of shit does go down. Like those kind of clubs and annoying people really exist. And it's not just a meme. Like it's pretty accurate at portraying the annoying LA transplants. But yeah, so Goodrich. Great story. I did like it, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's a little long. It kind of drags in certain parts. I would say it's pretty decently paced, but there are a few scenes that feel a bit stretched out. Anyways, follow us on Twitter at ghettoplex_mp4, on Instagram at ghettoplex.mp4, and on YouTube at ghettoplex. See you guys in the next one.